Hey guys, my name is Ben Shoemaker. I'm the drummer and mix engineer for the band We Demand Parachutes. Today we're going to jump into the mix of Cameraman, which is the newest single that we just released on Apple Music and Spotify. Kind of go through our process, show you the different techniques that we use in the writing and recording. And this is the first video of its kind that we're doing in this series. And so if you have any questions, comments, or things you guys want to see specifically, let us know. I'm going to flip the camera around and jump into the session. All right, here we go, guys. We're here in the Pro Tools session of Cameraman. Just so you guys get an idea of where we're at, let me just play the track. Cool. So this track actually didn't start in Pro Tools. It actually started all the way over in Logic, which is kind of different than what we normally do. But Kev was actually stationed overseas in the military. He'd had this idea. He emailed us a couple of times, kind of let us know that he was working on something new. But he had no ability to, record anything pretty much. So he was kind of restricted, so we did it in Logic on his computer with musical typing, just to get the idea out. And so that's where this kind of originated from. So here we go. I remember when I first got this session or this first demo, and Seth, kind of saw where the potential was and where it could go. Me, on the other hand, I was a little apprehensive. The synth sounds that were there, I just really wasn't sure what was going to happen. So once Kev got back, recorded the form, the guitars, kind of laid down some scratch tracks. Got the idea of where the track was going to go overall, sent it back, and I loved it. And so I recorded drums here in Rhode Island at a studio here in town, and sent it to the guys. They liked some of it, didn't like other parts. So when we all got together, we flew down to Kev's studio in North Carolina, kind of hash things out, work through things, come up with the ear candy that sets it apart, so to speak. And we needed to re-record certain sections, and we changed the verse and the chorus of the drums. We liked the bridge, and we did that. And so let's take a listen to just the drums, which are actually here in the session in pink. When we recorded these drums, the guys were on the phone. Kevin and Seth were on FaceTime going through the talkback mic while my girlfriend's holding the phone. They're yelling instructions on each and every take of what I should do. It's just insanity. The way we work, we go through a ton of different revisions. We always are trying different ideas. We want to try things, hear how they sound, and so that's kind of the process of this. We had a specific rhythm that we wanted, or I wanted in the chorus at the time. They wanted something more syncopated, with different vibe in the post chorus, and in the end, actually, we threw this effect on it, which I can play. So that filter really opens up there, kind of gives that tiny drum feel. Those drums actually, I think, were recorded in the basement of my apartment here in Rhode Island, which is like, cement walls, super trashy, gives that kind of weird vibe. and then threw it through, we threw it through this Schweppes 73, and this vintage filter, and just kind of just messed it up, and kind of got a cool vibe. And that kind of goes to the way everything kind of progressed here. We had a lot of different elements that made their way from the original demo in one way or another. One kind of specific thing is this acoustic guitar that plays off of this kind of delayed guitar that happens right before the chorus. Why don't we listen to that? And actually, in the track itself, sounds like this. And so there's two guitars layered there. There's the acoustic guitar, which actually isn't an acoustic guitar. It's just a fake acoustic guitar from, I think it actually made its way from the original Logic demo, which we normally would never do just because it sounds fake and kind of sounds cold. And, it's a super percussive rhythm, which lended itself to that, on the other side, the flip side of that delay. So kind of balanced it out. So let's just listen to that. Yeah, so we really would never kind of use, a fake guitar, but it sounded so cool in that specific section that we tried to replicate it in different ways. We had played it with a real acoustic, and it didn't have whatever that was, whether it was just the weirdness or the sound or the percussiveness. It just didn't translate to the same way that, in the mix that original, demo acoustic, fake acoustic guitar happened with. And there's a couple other things like that. If we jump back actually into the original demo that we got from Kev and listen to it, as it comes into this verse, you really hear that synth bass, and there's some piano in there that we'll get to in a sec. But that synth bass kind of is what's driving those verses, and that carried through. It didn't carry through from the original demo, but the idea carried through. So if we listen to that synth bass now, which I think, if I recall, was tracked through a Juno 108 that Seth has, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It might have been that or the mini log that he has. Seth buys a new synth every week. Yeah, I think there's a number to call for that or something like that. Sticking on Seth, when we tracked this bridge, there's a funny story with that. Kev had just driven up like through the night to get to my house in Rhode Island, and Seth just flew in from a corporate audio gig that he was just doing, and we all got together. We had the structure, we had the form, we had the drums, everything, and we were just looking for the bridge. So we were just throwing these different arpeggios out there, and Kev had worked on a guitar one, which I'll play. There's actually a couple in this section. It had originated from just an idea that he had, kind of, driving all night. And so here's that. Actually, stereos on both sides. And so Seth took that, kind of same thing, and he had this idea. So we kept tracking it, and, Kev was dead tired. Kept tracking it. We kept wanting him to do this, do that, do this, and we kept waking him up. He'd fall asleep. Seth would track something, then oh, we need this guitar or we need that guitar. So then we wake them up again and, play this, play that. And it was just insane. And then, Seth came up with this bridge arpeggio that kind of matches that as well. So I'll play that in solo. And then it goes right back into the chorus. So, when you match all that stuff, and then there's all these different layers that kind of, just add to that. So I'm going to play all the different, backing layers, the synth layers, and those arpeggios, and you kind of get the idea of how that bridge fills itself out. Here we go. And then you're out. You're back right into the chorus, the last chorus. So, I could talk about this stuff in this song, for weeks probably, just because it's a great track that we worked really hard on. That was kind of built three different states, couple of different countries, couple of different continents, actually. I mean, geez, it's all over the place. So, if you have any questions, comments, things you guys want to see in the future, if we dig in, we can talk about, the vocal chain that we did, the different drum tracking options that we used, anything like that, let us know. And, as we said, this is the first video in this video series, kind of delving into the mix process and our writing and recording process. And we look forward to it in the future. So catch you next time.
We're always talking. Let's do it, why my friend?